Wayne Thiebaud is an American artist from Arizona. He began his career as a graphic designer and cartoonist. He then began painting everyday objects, which included many pastries. You'll see in these examples, he makes them appear more 3D and like there's actually frosting on it by putting thick layers of paint, having highlights and shadows to really play with the way the light interacts with the piece. For our project, you get to choose what you want your cake to look like, but we are going to have a slice taken out. I use colored pencils. You can use paint, colored pencils, crayons, whatever you have access to. Our Wayne Thiebaud cakes. Let's start with the top of the cake. Your paper can go either horizontal or vertical. It's completely up to you. But to start with that first kind of cylinder shape, you need like a sideways oval. And then on the very, very edges, we come down, not the whole way, come down on this side. And then we're going to mimic that same curve. So we have another kind of smiley face at the bottom. So right now it looks like a huge marshmallow, but we want it to look like a cake. So in the middle of this cake, if you make a dot, make a diagonal line and another diagonal line, depending on how big of a slice you want cut out of your cake. From those lines, we're going to make a straight line down. Oops. On both sides. Then we erase that in the middle. Now this is where a lot of people stop, but it doesn't look right. So what they're missing is from this line where it touches the bottom, we need to mimic or make another line that's parallel like that. Sorry, someone must be here. So we make a line go back. And then right here we erase because that piece of the cake no longer exists. You served it or you ate it, whatever it is. Now, if you want to add a filling or anything like that to your cake, a lot of people will also make like either diagonal lines this way or just straight lines across, which doesn't make sense. You always want to go with this diagonal and make it parallel, like right in the middle. If you want a filling in yours, it's up to you. Now, our cake probably has to be on a plate. So let's put it on a plate. It could go off of the paper like mine's probably going to go to. Just sketching it out to see where it needs to go. And then I want to add some thickness to that, so I'm probably just going to do the same thing. Because if I imagine this coming around, let's add a thickness to my plate. Ooh. There we go. And then the table, of course, so it's not floating. All right, now it's time to decorate your cake however you want. If you want to have drips, if you want to have cherries on top, it is all up to you. I'm going to color mine in, but remember, as you're coloring, as you're painting, whatever you're doing, think about which way your light's coming from. So if my light is coming from this way, I'm going to have a really big shadow in here towards the center of my cake and on the plate. Then I have the shadow of the cake behind it. So be very aware of what you're doing, where you're adding colors, and all of that fun stuff. So you can add your designs with a pencil. So if I want mine to be like an art cake or paint cake, think of Heather Lose's cakes. I can have like a paintbrush here. Maybe I have a paintbrush on top. It's all up to you. If you want to have flames, if you want to make it camo, it is your time. You can use whatever material you want to add color to it. Don't forget about your background here. So maybe you have a window looking outside in the background, giving your picture more depth. Maybe it's just a wallpaper or something like that. But I'm going to fast forward my making of the cake. I can't wait to see yours.